Hello, everybody. I hope somebody's here because I don't have anything in front of me. 1 second. We'll be starting shortly. Hello, Pig's Dream. Hello, The Real Thing. A friend of What's Up. Hello, Flay. You are live and we can hear you, says a friendo. Thank you very much. Just allow me to open the vertical stream as well, and then we can start. 1 second. There's another person on the screen. I will introduce her in a second. We're just gonna wait for 1 more minute for people to pile in, because it is earlier than usual. So, and also I need to open a bunch of stuff. Right. Okay, we are live on both streams and I can kind of see myself, although a little cut off. That's okay. There you go. Let's do it like that.
Oh, I'm just checking where you have people online. Sorry, I was just checking.
Yeah, that's cool. So hello everybody, this is Yagna. Am I saying it right? Yeah. Yagna. Yagna is an amazing Indian activist. She goes on dairy farms and interviews farmers about all the fucked up shit they do to cows, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, I have a kid here, sorry.
That's okay. Listen, it's going to be fun today. It's going to be kids on live stream.
Do you want to say hi?
Hello. Hello.
Hi.
Hi. Very cute.
All right, yeah.
Okay. Hello, SJ. Hello, Elliot Davis. Hello, Martin Kevin. All right. So today... Oh. Wait, it's okay. Yeah, so today we are watching a movie called Mother's Milk. It's an Indian dairy industry movie. I haven't seen it. Have you seen it, Yagna?
Yeah.
Is it good?
I've seen like half of it, so I'm gonna watch the full thing today. It's a documentary. Yes, as you said, it translates to a mother's milk. And cows in India are revered as mothers as well. So yeah, during the movie while watching it, we can have a look, and it's the documentary has been made by this MBBS doctor, and he went on a journey to explore and do his research on all the dairy firms. And then there's another obviously there's the...
Oh, sorry, people can't hear you. So...
Oh, okay, right. Sorry.
No.
That
That was my fault. Now people can hear you. If you can give us the presentation again,
yeah,
I would appreciate it. Sorry.
Yeah, absolutely. I was just saying that the documentary is made by this MBBS doctor,
Mm-hmm.
and he goes on a journey to research about the dairy farms and exactly show everything, all the cruelty, everything, all the process, how literally the glass, the milk in your glass is coming from. And I think everyone should watch it because we should know what we are consuming. Is it necessary? Is it not? Because cruelty is absolutely unnecessary and we should not be cruel to anyone. And then he also talks about health perspective as well, which you will see later in the documentary, which is also very interesting because that's also done with a lot of professionals.
Yeah.
So it's good. And yeah, so let's watch it. I think cool. Let's go ahead.
Before we start, I don't know if I was planning to watch the entire thing today because I don't know if you have a cutoff. I know in India it's very late already. So
No, that's fine.
yeah, how long can you
Uh,
go for?
yeah, I can go.
Okay.
I can go for the whole thing. Yeah.
All right, let's start.
And also, like, I'm happy to answer any questions. Like, whoever's watching, if they have anything, just, they can drop a comment, and I'll also have a look at the stream, and I'll try to read the comments, and
Yeah.
then we can discuss.
Yeah.
We can communicate. Yeah.
All right. So I have the horizontal stream in front of me. So I'm going to
Yeah.
read the comments from there. And you have
Yeah.
the vertical one
Sounds good.
open. So there you go. It's
Yeah.
because I couldn't
Sounds
handle
good, sounds
both.
good.
So let's begin.
All right.
Ooh, disclaimer. Already scary. Tell us you can hear the sound from the movie, guys.
As a child, when I looked up at the sky, I was always curious about the stars. And among these countless stars is our tiny planet, Earth. From the depths of her oceans to the peaks of her mountains, she's beaming with life, and she's beautiful to me. It is the only place that we all call home. When I travel out, just like stars, I see countless cows and buffaloes. What is their story? How are they connected to us? And how did they become such an integral part of our identity? Come with me on a journey to find out the story of cows and buffaloes of India.
So just to make sure you weren't hearing Yagna when she said that they called it mother's milk not just because the cow is a mother, but also because in India people revere cows as mothers, right? Yeah.
Hi, I am Dr. Harsha. I studied medicine to treat human ailments. By choice, however, I became an investigative documentarian. I was born into a middle-class Indian family, and like many Indians, I grew up eating meat and eggs. I used to enjoy eating all kinds of meat. Even then, I called myself an animal lover, as I was proud of my food choices. All this changed during my third year of medical school, when one day I accidentally happened to visit a meat market. I immediately decided to find out more. The more I researched about the meat industry, the uglier it appeared. I had two choices, either to willfully ignore the facts I discovered and continue what everyone in the society is doing, or to go against the society norms, even if I have to face mockery and criticism.
Yagna, just to make sure, these are not cows, are they? Those are buffaloes, right? We can't hear you, I'm sorry.
Yeah, so there will be like a mix.
Oh, okay. So
There's
they
a mix of,
interbreed cows and buffaloes.
yeah, there's
what does
gonna be a
that
mix.
what does that do to the?
Sorry, I'm
Yeah.
having an apple right now.
That's good. You're preparing for a long stream. So what does that do to the holy stance of this animal who is part cow, the holy cow, and part buffalo, who generally people don't give a shit about?
See, that's the thing that people really aren't aware about. When people drink milk, they don't really know where it's coming from. All they see is like this drink, right? It's like juice.
Yeah.
They don't think about the cruelty, they don't think about the cow, they don't think about the revered cow, the mother, and they don't even know if it's coming from a buffalo or like a cow. They have no idea. All they think is that it's coming from a packet. Because in India, it's mostly packets, because I know you get like these bottles abroad.
Yeah.
So people have no idea. That's why we are spreading awareness, and mostly because of and cows, like, cows make like very the natural cows, like the original breeds which actually existed in the wild. They make like, for example, a particular amount of milk, right, to feed their babies. So what we have done is we have like interbreeded them. Like we have taken like so many, like we have breeded them again and again and again. Like with dogs, you've seen like there are so many breeds which do not naturally exist. So they were like wolves before. Like originally they were all wolves, and then we actually made dogs. So that's what we have done, and now the amount of breeds we have is crazy, and the amount of milk they're consuming is like crazy. It's unnatural because we are also giving them some kind of growth hormones and injections and whatnot. So you're gonna see everything in this because you know how fast we are doing this, how fast, and the rate of exploitation is crazy. So you're gonna see cows, you're gonna see all the different breeds. Um, I can literally name the breeds, but
Yeah, no, that's all
so
right.
they interbreed them. A few of them are breeded just so they can like fatten them up, and then they are mostly sold for meat, right?
Yeah.
For so and then that's how we are thinking so much. Like humans are, I don't know, using their brains too much to like exploit these animals. Why can't we use our brains to do better, to do better for everyone? So
Well,
yeah,
question
so
of the
that yeah,
century. Yeah.
honestly, yeah.
Also, India.
So
In India, people consume dairy like much more than in the West, right? It's
yeah,
like in crazy
yeah.
amount. Okay, let's
And they
continue.
have this
Yeah.
just belief in the back of their head that it's coming from our mother cow. That just because you have called her mother, like yes, she was symbolic, but her symbolism was for something else. It was because of her nature mostly. Cows are like so innocent, such gentle and compassionate beings. So that is where it started from, and look what we have done. Like that, it has nothing to do with like that she gives us. People always say she gives us milk. No cow will give you milk. It's
Yeah.
for her and her baby. Like
Yeah, for
so,
real.
yeah. Like we can watch.
Yeah.
And
Against the society norms, even if I have to face mockery and criticism. My defensive arguments for meat consumption fell apart in an instant, and overnight I decided to become a vegetarian. After I cleared my medical license exam, I decided to pursue my passion for Indian and Western philosophy before preparing for a job. During this time, I read biographies and works of many great thinkers. I went on to learn about Jainism and then came upon Bhagavad Gita. These books changed my life. I began to understand the concept of ahimsa, which loosely translates to non-violence.
Baby.
All this reading taught me to be empathetic towards animals. The more I read, the more I learned, leading me to the fact that the cruelty didn't begin with the slaughter of the cow or buffalo, but much earlier it began with the production of its milk. So I decided to remove all commercial dairy products from my diet. However, I still believed in Gaushala milk or Ahimsa milk, the milk taken from well-looked after animals. After all, the Krishna temple I used to visit.
So this doesn't explain what Goshala is. Correct me if I'm wrong, Yagna. Goshala is like a sanctuary for animals but they sometimes still exploit animals, right?
yeah, so Gaushala, like Gau means cows, and Shala means like a shelter. Like that's what it translates to. So cow shelter is Gaushala. So that's supposed to be a place where cows are being taken care of, and just being taken care of, like fed and loved, and people can come and feed them. That was the motive behind a cow shelter, that people can come and play with the cows or respect them or love them and come spend time with them. But because of this exploitative, I don't know, exploitive thinking, things have like changed. on like a huge scale. So even, and also like a cow shelter was like supposed to be funded by, for example, people um, who wanted to do something good. Okay, like for example, they want to like donate money,
Yeah,
so they would
charity.
donate it. Yeah, charity. So they donated to a cow shelter. Um, so just because they want to do something good. So today, the cow shelters, um, because they're, the crazy amount of population of animals we have, right? I'm just gonna mute this. It's crazy. Oh my god, that was my water bottle. I'm so sorry about
It's
that.
okay. We're going to take a little break just because I also forgot my
Alright.
coffee. So you get your bottle and I'm get my
Yeah,
coffee.
I've got it. I'm so sorry. Yeah, it's a
I
heavy
still need like
one, but
30 seconds. I'm going to put us on a pre-opening. 1 sec. Okay, we're back. I would not be able to survive this without coffee. You wanted to say something, Yagna?
yeah. Mostly about cow shelters. What was it? Where was I? Like
Sorry.
that. Yeah. Sorry. Yeah, I remember.
That people
So the
give money to cow shelters because they want to do something good. But then cow shelters started exploiting animals, right?
Yes, because like the amount of animals, like I went to a cow shelter very recently. Oh my God, they are like cramped over there. Literally, there are like so many cows and buffaloes because like in the documentary, he's also gonna tell you in some parts of India, it's not legal to like slaughter the cows,
Yeah.
some parts, because of this thinking that cows are, revered as mothers, and then some parts it is legal. So I mean, I don't know, like I don't want to spread any wrong information.
No, it's okay.
I think the documentary is gonna, yeah. So my point is, because we are literally breeding these animals into existence just to use their bodies and exploit their bodies, and because we are increasing their numbers as well.
Yeah.
So now these cow shelters are struggling. Now they're struggling because all the cows are like, literally thrown and pushed into these shelters. Um, and people think that they're doing good, but now these shelters have also started exploiting those cows just so they can actually, and then they sell the milk as like, oh, it's like
The good
totally
milk.
organic, or like
Yeah.
really good milk, or like, no chemicals, or like something like that. So then they have also started making money on a very small scale, but there's no right way to
Yeah.
exploit another being. Yeah. So
Yeah,
yeah,
for
we can
sure.
continue watching.
So that's Goshala. I'm surprised they didn't explain it. Maybe
Yeah.
later.
Swore by it and said it was the only milk they offered to the gods and for food preparations. I was in the temple one day. I saw a truck enter from the back gate and the temple staff unloaded dozens of boxes. To my surprise, inside were hundreds of commercial milk packets. When I questioned the temple authorities, they told me to ignore it. Then I came to the conclusion that there is no such thing as ahimsa milk. I decided to quit consuming dairy altogether. A few days later, one of my colleagues offered me a milk-based sweet. When I refused, she inquired if I'm a vegan.
Are you a vegan?
That's how I first heard that word. After looking it up on the internet, I discovered that there were many people like me all over
That's amazing. Somebody went vegan without knowing what vegan is. That's amazing.
the world. A year later, I took my parents' permission and left my well-paying job to deeply study the matter. For 2 years, whenever I traveled within India, I spoke to people from various backgrounds about their views on animal cruelty. Given the growing number of open slaughterhouses visible in India, most people openly admit the cruelty in the meat and egg industry. But when I asked if they ever thought about avoiding milk and milk products because of the cruelty associated with it, I received resistance. Common responses I received were,
हमारे गांव में ऐसा नहीं होता.
लेकिन भगवान को तो दूध पसंद है ना.
ಕರ್ಮವು ನಿಮ್ಮನ್ನು ನೋಡಿಕೊಳ್ಳುತ್ತದೆ, ನೀವು ಅದರ ಬಗ್ಗೆ ಚಿಂತಿಸಬೇಡಿ.
यो तो भाई किसाना की जिंदगी ना बर्बाद करने वाली बात है.
हम तो सिर्फ गौशाला का ही दूध पीते हैं. हाँ.
So basically the same excuses, but a little different.
Yeah. You can read the translation of the excuses, but if you want me, I'm happy to.
Yeah, maybe I can read out because it's probably very small on some screens. So it doesn't happen in our village. Karma will take care of you, don't worry. What was another one in the middle?
लेकिन भगवान
But God loves milk, isn't it?
को तो दूध पसंद है ना.
ಕರ್ಮವು ನಿಮ್ಮನ್ನು ನೋಡಿಕೊಳ್ಳುತ್ತದೆ, ನೀವು ಅದರ ಬಗ್ಗೆ ಚಿಂತಿಸಬೇಡಿ.
यो तो भाई
You people are destroying the livelihood of farmers. So the same.
किसाना की जिंदगी ना बर्बाद करने वाली बात है.
हम तो सिर्फ गौशाला.
We only drink ethically sourced, local, small farm, family farm milk. It says we only drink gaushala milk.
का ही दूध पीते हैं. हाँ.
Relax, okay?
Relax, okay? The cows are safer than women in India. Well, do you think, Yagna? Is that true? A cow's not raped in India.
Both are not, like, I mean, I don't know, like, I don't know what to say.
Yeah, that's okay.
I don't know. When I read the newspaper about the woman, like, it's crazy, but yeah, like, I don't know.
Yeah.
Are safer than women in India.
प्रथमे ना मानव
First, focus on human issues. Well, we can do both.
Yeah.
ভালোর বিষয়ে
Yeah, we can do both.
Are you communist?
Are you a communist?
Are you a Sanghi?
Are you a Sanghi? What is a Sanghi?
Even I don't know what to say.
Oh, that's all right. Are you evangelist? Is the next one.
Are you evangelist?
શું તમે અમારો ધર્મ
Have you come to corrupt our religion that reveres mother cows?
ભ્રષ્ટ કરવા આવ્યા છો? What about my calcium?
What about my calcium?
What about my protein?
What about my protein? This is just the same, Yagna. This is painful.
Bora.
What about ghee?
What about ghee? What about what to do without curd? Curd is cheese, is it?
Curd is yogurt, and ghee is like this butter.
Yeah, clarified butter. Yeah. What about buttermilk? Well, you can make an amazing buttermilk from soy, but I can't live without my chai. Well, you don't have to. There is soy milk. So just, we have to stop here for a second. So soy milk is actually very expensive in India, isn't it? It's like 2 or 3 times more expensive than milk.
That's not true.
No, that's
Like,
what
for
Sahil
example,
told me, but yeah.
A pack of milk, it's not true. Maybe it's like double the price for a liter. Like, it's not true. It's approximately like the same price now.
Oh, really?
And yeah.
And are there
It's-
other
it's
options
insane.
except for soy, like oat milk? You know, we here in the West, we're spoiled. We have oat milk, rice milk.
Soy milk. Yeah. Mostly soy milk is available in like the local shops. That's accessible to like everyone, but that's still getting better. But mostly soy is available. But otherwise, in raw forms, oats and everything in raw forms are available, right?
Yeah.
Coconut or everything.
True.
Yeah. So people can actually make it. Yeah.
Okay.
माझा श्रीखंडाचा काय?
What about Shrikand?
It's a dessert, like an Indian dessert made from milk products mostly. Like a sweet dessert.
Oh, dessert.
like, you know?
Dessert. Okay.
Dessert.
I probably
yeah,
say
yeah,
it wrong
sweet.
as well, so don't worry about it.
Yeah, sorry. Like I said it wrong, I think.
Yeah, it's okay. What about ice cream?
Yeah.
Ice cream.
I couldn't understand why, when it comes to dairy, people in general could not believe there can be cruelty involved in producing milk. I approached public speakers, influencers, journalists, and even news channels to look into animal cruelty. But nobody.
SJ, are you Sahil? Are you my buddy, Sahil? By the way, Sanghi is more of a derogatory word used for Hindu extremists. Okay, well, now we know.
Seemed willing to tell these stories. I wanted to understand what is the reality today? How did we get here? As my culture's entire relationship with cows and buffaloes revolves around milk, I began my investigation by looking at milk consumption data. The dairy industry today is divided into two categories: the organized sector, where milk is procured, processed, packed, and distributed by cooperatives like Amul and Nandini, and the unorganized sector consisting of traditional tabelas, milkmen, local vendors, and family-owned animals. The organized sector accounts for only 20% of all milk production in India, whereas the unorganized sector takes up the remaining. According to the National Dairy Development Board, the national milk production has increased 19-fold in the past 60 years. All of this growth is attributed to India's White Revolution, the world's largest dairy production and development campaign.
That's amazing. And people in India have larger prevalence of lactose intolerance, aren't they? Or is that not true? Yeah.
No, that is true. Like, it's everywhere. Lactose intolerance is like everywhere.
And yet,
In India as well and everywhere.
and yet, your dairy consumption increased 20 times in the past few years. Wow. Or
That's
19, they
because
said.
of
Yeah.
marketing, and these companies are literally, and this is another White Revolution 2.0 has just like launched in September, like 2 months ago, and they are putting crazy amounts of money to like increase more dairy products and consumption in India. It's crazy. Like,
Okay.
2021, employment in the dairy industry is estimated to support 10 crore households in India. The White Revolution was actually named Operation Flood, with the grand idea of flooding the nation and its markets with milk products. But what about the things that we are not really proud of? According to the USDA's report,
Sorry.
sorry, I wanted to tell you about this, what he just said. The words that he used, what did he just say? Like
about the things that we are not really proud of. According to the USDA's report,
Or was it before?
yeah, just before.
Hold on. Let's see.
10 crore households in India. The White Revolution was actually named Operation Flood, with the grand idea of flooding the nation and its markets with milk products.
Is that what you meant?
Operation Flood. All right. So I want to say that when the dairy, when they started dairy in Europe, like, I'm just gonna give like an overview because like I can go into detail, but there was like excess milk products, and then they invented like butter and other things. I don't know if you know about the history. Like, they kind of thought when they started dairy, like when they started exploiting cows for their milk, there was like so much milk at one point. They thought, what do we do with them? So literally that milk was like, and then they started inventing like products like butter and other things. And then that also came to India. So from the European countries, it was brought to India, and that was Operation Flood. And then that's how somebody else in India, like, there's a great video on this. I can tell you the link. I mean, great video just about information, but not what they're doing, like what has been done.
Okay. I would love
but yeah,
to see that video.
yeah.
I would appreciate
Yeah,
it.
yeah, yeah.
Okay, let's continue.
But what about the things that we are not really proud of? According to the USDA's report, India exported 16 lakh tons of both cow and buffalo meat in 2019. However, the Indian government data on APEDA only shows the export of buffalo meat. An estimated 95 lakh buffaloes were killed in the year 2020 for beef exports, whereas 2.25 crore cows and buffaloes were killed for domestic beef consumption. India kills a shockingly high number of bovine animals. If these cows and buffaloes killed for consumption were humans, it would be the same as wiping out the human populations of Mumbai, Pune, and Hyderabad combined every single year.
Wow.
Today, India is one of the top beef exporting nations in the world, and these numbers are only going up each passing year. In the West, the relationship of humans with cows is purely economical. It begins with the cows getting artificially impregnated. The cows then deliver babies who are then immediately separated from their mothers. The milk is denied to the calves and is taken solely for human consumption. When she runs dry, the mother cow is slaughtered. If the calf is male, he is killed for veal and soft leather or is sent to beef farms, where he is fed until he grows big, only to be slaughtered. If the calf is female, she is raised as a replacement for her mother, and this cycle repeats. While most of the dairy industry outside India depends exclusively on cows, buffaloes are also used in some cases. And male calves are thrown in rivers because they do not give milk. What about India? After learning about beef consumption and exports, a few things bothered me. Where does all this beef come from? What is happening in the West? Does it happen in India too? We often see farms where chickens and goats are raised exclusively for meat in India. But where are all these beef farms located? How does the beef trade operate here? I was surprised that when I browsed the internet, I did not find a single beef farm in India like the ones we see in the West. However, there are over 110 government-approved buffalo slaughterhouses all over India. These are just the legal abattoirs, and no one knows how many are operating underground and illegally. To find out what happens inside slaughterhouses, we spoke to slaughterhouse workers who agreed to meet with us. At the slaughterhouse, as soon as we uttered the word beef, the people there tried to back out from the meeting. During our discussion, I realized that they were the owners of the slaughterhouse, not the butchers. They also refused to let us speak to them. We also tried to reach out to a few more butchers, but no one agreed to an interview. We hit a dead end. Through inquiry,
So, is the dairy industry like incredibly secretive in India for religious reasons? Is it?
So the dairy
No, I'm talking about the
industry
beef.
is not.
Sorry.
Yeah. Sorry. So obviously it's both like interconnected, and yes, they are also kind of secretive, because who goes to these dairy farms, right? Nobody really goes to the places where the cows and buffaloes are, kept, and like nobody really goes there. Like,
Yeah. Well, Utops is asking why is beef a bad word? Well, supposedly in India, people revere cows from which beef comes as
that's why.
mothers. So it's like a taboo to slaughter mothers, right?
Yeah, and they pray. On one side they pray, but then they don't realize that because of their actions and their consumption, it's like we are actually literally, I don't know, like they don't even consider drinking milk as exploitation. That's the thing, no? Like they think
Yeah.
it's not. Yeah.
with local animal rescuers, we discovered that beef traders are supported by some local politicians. They warned me not to investigate it any further unless I was willing to risk my life. Another dead end. However, I also got to know that the same politicians were also closely associated with dairy farms. It seems to me that there is a link between dairy farms and slaughterhouses. Since cows and buffaloes are seen in dairy farms, in search of answers we visited a local dairy farm. At the farm, the hygiene was terrible for the humans who worked there, and even more so for the animals. As a doctor, I can say it is an environmental and occupational hazard. The conditions in other dairy farms were equally worrisome.
एक थन उसके हस्ते 3 थन आपको खुद निकालना ऐसा
कितने साल रखते हैं आप इसको? कितने बार प्रेग्नेंट होने
4 या 5 बार
4 या 5 बार?
So she asked how many times she got pregnant. Each cow gets pregnant, and he says 4 to 5 times.
तो बाद में क्या होता है उनका उम्र कम होने तो दूध भी कम हो जाता ना फिर
Yeah.
तो उसको रख के आप लोग को कुछ मिलता नहीं ना क्योंकि इधर
Yeah, so no point of keeping them after that because they don't produce as much milk, right?
सब
Yeah,
दिक्कत
'cause
कर
their
रहा है
body
तो इधर अपने कोई खेती नहीं कि
gives up.
खेती से खिला सकते उनको करके
Yeah, sorry.
Yeah, I was just saying their body like gives up after like so much torture and exploitation. They're like repeatedly pregnated and then their babies are taken away. So at one point, just after like 5 years or so, or maybe less, the mother or the female's body gives up. She's like, and then her body won't even produce milk because all we see her is like as a machine.
Yeah.
So yeah.
I can see the animal, like even the welfare is absolutely horrendous. I can see the animals tied up so
Yeah.
on such a tight leash. And they spent like that their entire lives, aren't they? They don't see pasture and shit like that, right?
Absolutely. No, they're just in that one spot their whole damn life.
Wow.
Yeah.
रखते हैं ज़्यादा चाह रहे पानी तो वही पैसे में दूसरी नहीं लेने के थोड़े
So
बहुत
with the money they make from beef, I'm supposing, they buy a new cow. It doesn't say the money from where, right? It
Yeah,
says,
like actually the people who wanna like make money out of beef and who have links to like export the meat, they will come and purchase, you know, the cow or the buffalo from the dairy farms. Yeah.
okay.
Somehow that also happens.
पानी तो वही पैसे में दूसरी नहीं लेने के थोड़े बहुत पैसे लगते हैं
वो पूछ रहे हैं कि आप जब उनको बेच देते हैं ना आपको पता है कि क्या होता
Oh, so they sell the cows. After 4 or 5 times they get pregnant, they sell the cows and they don't know where.
Yeah, like they don't even care. They have like no idea where they literally sell the cows.
Yeah.
They just want to run their business. Like, and people who are consuming, they don't know that, right? People are like absolutely, they have like no awareness. And you know the crazy amount of population in India, like
Yeah.
they believe it's, I don't know, they believe something, but that's just not true. Yeah.
है उनका
नहीं अभी समझो मैं आपको बेचा अभी आप रहने को समझो बम्बई में आपने भैंस बम्बई ले गए फिर आपका मेरा कंफ्यूजन है धीरे खत्म हो गई कहानी
Yeah, so I'm sorry, I know just like on the small screen the people can't see the titles. That's why I'm like regurgitating it. So he says, well, after I sold them, I'm finished. I don't no longer have the relationship there. So they don't even care. Right.
आपको फिर बाद में पता नहीं होता है कि
नहीं
क्या
वो
होता
फिर
है
किधर गई वो उसका आप लोगों को मतलब आप लोगों को पैसा मिला ये दीजिए इसके जगह पे दूसरी नहीं ले ले खत्म हो जाता है क्या है
Oh, I know
The
what
thing
that
is-
is. That is
Yeah,
crazy.
the thing is, they don't want to get blamed. The people who are in the dairy farms, who are like, they don't want to get blamed. They say that we are not killing the cow because killing the cow is like,
Like
like
killing
it's-
your mother, right?
It's yeah, exactly, exactly. So they don't want to get that label, or they don't want to, because they're going to get in trouble. A lot of people in India, they go like crazy. They get crazy angry that how can you like kill cows, you know? But on the other hand, they have no idea how literally they are like, killing the cows.
Yeah.
But yeah, do you know what this is like?
I do
It's
know,
called
but can you
khalbacha.
tell my audience, please?
Yeah, so in Hindi it's called khal bacha. Khal means like skin, like the outer skin of an animal, or yeah, like of even humans. So like khal means like skin, and bacha means kid.
Yeah.
So in short, it's like a child's skin, like that is what it means. So it's like stuffed with like straw and all of that, like grass and straw. So this mostly happens in dairy farms because either the babies are killed or they're just like left to like starve to death, or they also sometimes kill the babies and mostly male calves because males do not produce milk, and then they fool the mother because the mother is like, they fool the mother with the dead body, like the stuffed dead body of the baby, and they keep the dead body in front of the mother just so she can like look at and smell, the
Yeah.
skin, and just so that while doing so they can like put the baby in front of her and like they can like continue to like steal her milk, like
Yeah.
just because she smells, and then we are literally like exploiting her body, like just because she can like remember her child, and then we steal her milk.
Yeah.
Like it's
So they spray a little bit of milk on the
of milk
kalbacha
as well. Yeah.
and then let
Of
her
milk, yeah.
smell both
Yeah,
the
let her
kalbacha with
smell.
milk. So it stimulates like milk production, right? Like in human
Yeah.
mothers. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, we kind of make her
Sorry?
stimulate. No?
Sorry?
Sorry, I was just saying that we kind of make her stimulate. Because ultimately, when a human baby will also die, like, for example, in a rare case, if a child dies, the mother, yes, her body does produce milk, but at a certain point, she'll slowly, like, stop producing milk. Unless and until somebody, like, keeps forcing out of her. So we just keep forcing out of that mother, like, exploiting her.
It's pretty
or else
horrific.
it would, like, dry up naturally.
I also saw your video on Instagram where you went to one of the farmers and asked them, well, what do you do with cows who don't have children? And they said they inject them with something so that they produce more milk.
Yeah, so like mostly with like the cows who have given birth to a male calf, for example. Male calves are literally starved to death, mostly, like in most states, or they're like just killed.
Yeah.
They just die because of like so many diseases. Like I can't even tell you, like when I saw they were all like diseased and they're given like so many injections. So there's this injection called oxytocin, and like that's given to the females because they don't have a child, and when that's injected to their body is like forced, like extremely forced, like the injection does like something crazy to the bodies, and then that's how they first inject the mother, and then that's how after that they milk the mother. So that's done majorly, that's done that's done a lot, and my video was proof of that. And also oxytocin is illegal, like it's only to be like used for like rare cases.
Yeah.
When
Well, it's incredibly
but
addictive.
it's sold, yeah, and it's sold illegally everywhere. So
yeah. By the way, guys, Yagna has a Instagram account. I'm putting it in the chats. If you're on Instagram, I know it's unlikely from my audience. If you are on Instagram, please go give her a follow. She has amazing exposés on her Instagram, and she is also an artist. So it's an amazing artist. Very beautiful stuff with like, you create like silicone body modifications, right?
Yeah.
It's really cool. Right, maybe
In
we
a
can...
bit I might show you guys.
Yeah. All right, let's continue. So that's the kalbacha.
मर गया दूध निकलने के लिए देखो ना उसका वाशरूम होता है वाशरूम बच्चा फोटो बना था इसका बच्चा है मर गया है ऐसा चूची पकड़ेगा पाना छोड़ेगा दूध निकालेगा.
So they hold it to the udder for the udder to react to and give more milk. That's interesting.
The dairy farm owners had reinforced my suspicions about the link between dairy farms and
Jesus
slaughterhouses, although the evidence I had was still not conclusive. But before investigating that any further, I wanted to know more about our relationship with dairy animals. Turns out, consuming milk of another mammal began with humans shifting from hunting and gathering to farming and domesticating cows around 10,000 years ago. These cows and bulls were mainly used in agriculture for transport, milk, as property, and on some occasions as meat, when conditions were harsh and food was scarce. A noticeable difference is that Indian cattle have humps, while European ones do not. However, both belong to the same family of cattle. The various cattle breeds that we see today in India are a result of human activity through selective breeding of the subspecies zebu, much like dog breeds that once originated from wolves. Over thousands of years, as our ancestors migrated, they took their domesticated animals with them. Our lifestyles became wholly dependent on cows. Our culture evolved around them. When cows were affected, human existence too was affected. No cows meant no milk, no bulls for transport and ploughing the lands, and no food. Hence, cows were revered as an embodiment of all gods, or as a divine mother by Hindus. This Vedic tradition can be witnessed even today. For Hindus, cows became a part of the extended family. Buffaloes, on the other hand, are estimated to have been domesticated at a much later date, about 5,000 years ago. All the buffalo breeds in India originated from the water buffalo. However, it may not have been the best time for animals. It was common to sacrifice animals while worshipping deities and for food. Several instances of animal sacrifices have been recorded. There is even a mention of Gavalambaha, which means the killing of a cow. So it is likely that cow slaughter was carried out. It was probably around this time that humans evolved to realize that even animals experience pain. For example, in the Mahabharata, which was believed to have happened around 3000 BCE, when Yudhishthira asks his grandfather, Bhishma, about the merits of abstaining from meat, Bhishma talks at length about violence or himsa in killing animals. From this we know that Bhishma himself was a practicing vegetarian. However, vegetarianism was practiced only by a few communities and individuals. As Buddhism and Jainism grew and spread across the Indian subcontinent, their teachings of Karuna, Jivadaya, and Ahimsa brought vegetarianism to the mainstream. At the same time, Ayurveda, the ancient traditional Indian system of medicine, also evolved, prescribing many plant-based medicines. This popularized vegetarianism even more. Even in Patanjali Yoga Sutra, the first step of yoga is not about body stretching or warm-up, but about the practice of ahimsa. Unless one practices ahimsa, one cannot progress in yoga. As time went on, animal sacrifices were transformed into rituals like breaking coconuts with the aim of merging non-violence or ahimsa with tradition. Ahimsa became a hallmark, a core value of Indian culture, something even foreign travelers recognized when they visited India. Fa Xian, a Chinese Buddhist monk who visited India in the 4th century, wrote, "India is a strange country. People do not kill any living creatures, do not keep pigs and fowl, and do not sell live cattle." By then, the Indian subcontinent was largely vegetarian, and cow slaughter was considered to be a sin and was opposed unanimously. However, those who did not align with vegetarian principles still sacrificed other animals. Today, the majority of Hindu temples and rituals are strictly vegetarian and do not encourage or promote animal sacrifices. In many ways, vegetarianism is a result of how ethics, compassion, and rationality have evolved. But is vegetarianism still a rational choice today? I asked some animal rights activists and rescuers.
जो डेयरी इंडस्ट्री है, यानी कि जो गाय भैंस रखी जाती हैं दूध के लिए, ये हर क्रूरता के जड़ है. अगर आप
So she says that in the dairy industry where cows and buffaloes are used, it's very cruel.
सारे तबेले देखें तो गाय अपने गोबर में पूरे दिन खड़ी रहती है,
They're standing in their own shit all day with no exercise.
कोई एक्सरसाइज नहीं, खाना कभी सूखा भूसा, कभी गंद बला जो दिया जाता है। अभी
So sometimes they get straw, sometimes dirty food.
अभी गौशालों में 150 गाय एक ही दिन में मर गए क्योंकि फंगस वाला।
What was that?
ये अभी गौशालों में
150 cows in a cow shed died in a single day
150 गाय एक ही दिन में मर गए क्योंकि फंगस
because they were given fungus infested food.
वाला खाना उसको दे रहे थे। एंड क्योंकि वो कभी एक्सरसाइज नहीं की जाती, उसको आर्थराइटिस होता है, उसको ट्यूबरक्यूलोसिस होता है, उसको
So tuberculosis is fuck.
Yeah. Do you know, have you heard about this mad cow disease?
Yes.
Do you know? Yeah.
Oh
Yeah.
my god. That's
So
terrible.
they were, yeah, the cows, because they're not meant to eat, like, I think they were given a mixture of like meat products, like, you know, like the waste stuff from the meat
Yeah.
in their feed. And their body like naturally rejected that.
Yeah.
So
There was a breakout of tuberculosis in the 90s, I think, in UK. Was there in India at the same time or at a different time?
I'm not sure, but I think it, would have been there.
But it's still,
But,
it's prevalent, bovine tuberculosis.
Not sure.
Okay,
Like,
that's okay.
I don't know much about that. Yeah.
That's all right.
एक्सरसाइज नहीं की जाती, उसको
So they get arthritis because they don't exercise, and they get tuberculosis because they basically live in their own shit. Or
Yes,
fed
I've
bunch of
actually
gross
seen
stuff.
this. Yeah, I've seen in this dairy farm that I was visiting. I've been there like quite a lot of times. They literally leave, there's like this big tub of water. So they like untie the buffaloes, like once in like, I don't know, like once a day, like, you know, 24 hours, like once. Because like there are like 150 cows or buffaloes, right? So they like once a day they're gonna like untie them, bring them to drink water, and then just take them back to that spot, and then tie them back. And I've seen them walk like their legs, you know, like what she's talking about arthritis, like that's true. Like literally their legs are like, because they just sit and stand in that one place.
Yeah.
So their legs are not right, like, you know.
आर्थराइटिस होता है, उसको ट्यूबरक्यूलोसिस होता है, उसको कम से कम 8 से 10 बीमारियां ऐसे होती हैं जो
So they have at least 8 to 10 diseases which are very severe.
बहुत ही
That's
गंभीर
terrible.
है।
Yeah.
और सबसे
The most severe of them is brucellosis. Brucellosis is like an infectious disease that cows suffer from.
गंभीर जो बीमारी है वो है ब्रूसेलोसिस। और गंभीर इसलिए मैं बोल रही हूँ, इसलिए नहीं कि बाकी कम गंभीर है।
And she says it's not like the rest is less severe. But
इसलिए गंभीर क्योंकि जब आप दूध पिएंगे उस गाय से, तो वो गाय का जो ब्रूसेलोसिस है वो इंसान में ट्यूबरक्यूलोसिस बन जाता है।
So she says that brucellosis. So she says that when people drink milk with brucellosis in it, it becomes tuberculosis in human body.
Yeah.
I might question that. I did read about the connection between the two, but I might question that this actually passes to humans in such a severe way. Unless the milk is not pasteurized in India, is it? Is it pasteurized?
Yeah, it is. Yeah,
then
it
brucellosis
is pasteurized,
dies.
Yeah.
It
Like
doesn't pass
milk
pasteurization.
revolution is huge because of all of these advancements, and pasteurization is like one of them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Then I'm
Sorry,
definitely
what were you
questioning if brucellosis can survive in the pasteurization process. Unless it's reintroduced through like contamination afterwards, it's very unlikely.
I'm not sure if it's like, I don't know if it goes away in pasteurization. I'm not sure. I've got to research about that.
Yeah, same. So let's just put a question mark there.
जो हिंदुस्तान में ट्यूबरक्यूलोसिस इतनी बुरी तरह से फैल गया है, उस सब का जड़ वो गाय का के साथ ब्रूसेलोसिस का दूध पीना।
Currently, India is the largest producer of milk in the world. Almost 19 to 20% of the total production comes from India.
Wow.
So obviously, when supply is tailor-made for the demand, the conditions of production will always be questionable, especially because this is not an inanimate industry. So from a detailed study done by FIAPO and various other sources also between 2012 and 2018, we come to know that a large number of foreign breeds have been introduced into the country to accelerate the produce of milk supply. Now these are foreign breeds like Jersey, HF, etc. Now these breeds are forced to produce 20 liters of milk a day as against a cow's natural capacity to supply 1 to 4 liters when a mother cow is feeding the calf.
It's selfishness of people. People care only for their profit. As long as the animals, the cows or buffaloes, as long as they can get profit from them, they will keep them. And when the milk is finished and the calf is abandoned, the buffalo calf will be slaughtered, sent to slaughter, which is horrible because they are just as emotional and affectionate and kind and friendly as a cow calf. They may not be the seed of devatas, as the god and goddesses, but they are just very emotional and very sweet. And the cows, if they don't get pregnant fast enough, they will be abandoned also. And when they get old, then they'll be abandoned also. And the whole life they have given milk and people have profited from them, and now they're old and they're sent on the street to have an accident, to get sick, and even if they don't, at the end of life they will sit and they will remain sitting without food and water, and before they die, and the dogs may even eat them alive, because that is what happens. And the buffaloes are all getting killed. All of them are killed cruelly. The whole life they have been.
So the thing is, that's what Sahil told me, that dairy farms, because they're not allowed or not willing to send cows to slaughter, and sometimes buffaloes either, they just release them walking in the streets, right? And the cows eat garbage or just starve to death just in the streets.
Yeah.
So either way, even without slaughter, those animals are treated like objects, like they're completely discarded and end up dead.
Yeah.
That's horrific.
Profited from, and in the end they go to a horrible death.
बच्चा होता है तो बच्चे को माँ का दूध पी जाती है, तो उनको बेचने के लिए, धंधा करने के लिए दूध नहीं मिलता है, तो बच्चे को, जिंदा बच्चे को ट्रक से फेंक देते हैं, या तो फिर वो लोग इंजेक्शन दे के मार देते हैं, या तो बहुत दिन से बांध के रखे। मैं आंखों से देखा, उसको दूध देते नहीं, बहुत दिन से बांध के रखते हैं, तो दूध नहीं, पेट पूरा अंदर चला जाता है, उसका पूरा कॉलम ये हो जाता है ना, तो कहीं फेंक देते हैं।
As per my knowledge, it is business for them, because in this village also where I stay, तलोजा, यहाँ पे भी काफ़ी सारे गौशाला है, लेकिन आप वहाँ पे देखिए, किसी को आप ये नज़र नहीं आएगा कि उनको कोई, उनकी आंखें क्या बोल।
Oof, she started with English and then so but you see over there you will not come across someone who
वहाँ पे देखिए, किसी को आप ये नज़र नहीं आएगा कि उनको कोई, उनकी
what the animal's eyes are conveying.
आंखें क्या बोलती हैं, उनकी क्या फीलिंग है, that कोई नहीं समझे।
They don't understand, no one understands the feelings, yeah.
लेकिन हाँ, उनका दूध कितना लीटर निकला?
Just how many liters they produce.
Yeah, like everyone understands and everyone has knowledge about how much milk can a cow produce, right? But they don't see in their eyes like the emotions, or if they're crying, or like what they're trying to express. Nobody really cares about that. All they care about is just how much milk can her body produce. Like, she's so objectified. That's what she means.
Yeah.
ये खिलाने से दूध ज़्यादा निकलेगा, ये सब चीज़ें का नॉलेज है उनको, लेकिन उनकी अपनी फीलिंग क्या है, they also need rest, they also need that time, वो उनको फीलिंग नहीं है।
हमारे देश में लोगों को आदत पड़ गई है भैंसों को बंधा हुआ देखने की, गायों को बंधा हुआ देखने की, उनके
in our country, people have gotten used to seeing the buffaloes as captive.
में लोगों को आदत पड़ गई है भैंसों को बंधा हुआ देखने की, गायों को
Seeing the cows being chained.
बंधा हुआ देखने की, उनके बच्चों को
and seeing the babies die. So everybody can see this. Nobody can say, well, no, mother is sacred and we treat them well, can they? Because they can see them dying.
Yeah.
So what's going on? Why are they so much in denial?
A lot of people still have not seen, and they are in denial. They think that we are having, milk from the cow who was like treated as motherly figure, but that's not at all true. So that's what we are trying to do. What I'm trying to do here is spread that awareness as much as possible. And yeah, I've got some great leads. In fact, today I got a great lead. I'm gonna update about that later maybe. But
you heard it here. Follow her on Instagram.
More videos coming up is what I'm saying, with those people who are actually working in the dairy farms, or for example, even those people who have who are taking care of a cow at their own place, like and who so more videos coming up, like.
Listen, my audience is YouTube based. Do you have a YouTube channel?
More videos will come up on YouTube.
Okay.
Absolutely.
Can you send me your link so I can spread it around in my chats, please?
All right, I'll send you.
Okay. Oh, tell me what the name is and I will find it quickly.
Yeah, I've just started it. I'm just gonna drop a message in the chat.
All right.
Yeah.
मरते हुए देखने की और किसी को कोई फर्क ही नहीं पड़ता क्योंकि
they consider it a benign thing. Nobody cares that they see their children die and that they're tied up. Oh my God.
हम उसको एक बिनाइन सी वो मानते हैं कि तो फार्मिंग है, तो बेचारा गरीब आदमी है, चाहे उसके पास 80 भैंसें हो, वो गरीब सा आदमी है.
So we only care about the people, the farmers.
Or whatever. असल बात ये है कि किसी भी माँ को दूध तभी आता है जब उसका बच्चा होता है.
Yeah. So the mother babies are starved to death. I don't know what's happened. OBS dropped for a second, but that's okay.
में बच्चों को भूखा मार दिया जाता है जिस मिनट से पैदा
from the minute they are born, they're separated from their mothers. Holy shit.
होते हैं उनको माँ से अलग कर दिया जाता है. ये एक क्रिमिनल ऑफेंस है कि हम माँओं को बच्चों से अलग कर देते हैं.
Yeah, it's a criminal offense, she says.
बच्चों को भूखा मरने देते हैं, लेकिन हम इसको रिपोर्ट भी नहीं करते. प्रिवेंशन ऑफ क्रूअल्टी टू एनिमल्स एक्ट में खास तौर पे लिखा है कि हम किसी भी जानवर को unnecessary pain and suffering नहीं दे सकते.
Yeah, so they have like a prevention of cruelty to animals. That you must not give unnecessary pain and suffering to any animal. But
ये गाय भैंसें बहुत इंटेलिजेंट पशु होते हैं. They're very intelligent. इनके अंदर उतनी ही मातृत्व की भावना होती है जितनी इंसानों में होती है, ये शायद हमसे भी ज़्यादा.
So they have the bigger sense of motherhood, perhaps more bigger than humans, is what she's saying.
और इनसे जब इनके बच्चे छीन लिए जाते हैं, क्योंकि उनका दूध जो है वो किसी को अपनी चाय में डालना है, तो ये बहुत ज़्यादा मानसिक और शारीरिक पीड़ा से.
So we cause all this mental and physical pain for taste, pleasure.
गुजरते हैं.
बीफ इंडस्ट्री जो है वो
I'm being a little interpretative with what she said, but
बिना डेयरी के
I mean, she said the same. Sorry, she said the same thing. The obvious stuff is what she said. Like, yeah.
Did you drop it in the chat? Oh, what chat did you drop it on?
No, I'm just
you're
doing
looking
it.
for it.
It's a new page that I've just started.
Mm-hmm.
It's called Vichar Kare. It's like, I don't know, you can like give me a review as well, because if I should post it on this page, because I've not really posted a YouTube video yet, but I'm telling you they are coming.
Okay.
Like,
well, you're gonna have at least a few subscribers today if you.
Absolutely, absolutely. But give me a suggestion. Should I do it on that page called Vichar Kare? Means that please think about. It just means like it translates to please think
Uh-huh.
or think about something. I'm gonna type that in the chat.
Okay.
Or should I post it from my own name account? What do you think?
Well,
Because my Instagram is my name, right?
so
Yeah.
yeah, it's preferable to listen to somebody who's anonymous online. It's not working out as well. People prefer to know
Yeah.
the names of people. Yeah.
Okay, because I've not posted yet, so all right, I will put that in the chat.
You heard it
all right,
here,
cool.
guys. The link is coming. It will come at some point.
Yeah.
ठीक है, क्योंकि कोई भी एक गाय या भैंस को इतने साल खिला के पालना बड़ा महंगा पड़ जाएगा। तो वो जो डिस्काउंट होता है वो डिस्काउंट डेयरी वाले कराते हैं, क्योंकि हम एक गाय पालना उनके लिए आसान बनाते हैं। कुछ टाइम के लिए दूध 60 रुपए किलो या कहीं 70 रुपए किलो या कहीं कम सस्ता महंगा बिक रहा है, तो
So basically, it's all a matter of money. That's why they take the children, starve the children, and get the shittiest feed.
गुड मनी फॉर दोज विलेजर्स। वो पैसे के लिए उसको रखना शुरू करते हैं, बट जब वो दूध देना बंद कर देते हैं तो उसको नहीं पाल पाते। क्यों? क्योंकि दूध से डिस्काउंट मिल रहा था। तो अगर डेयरी इंडस्ट्री नहीं होगी तो इतना आसान नहीं होगा बीफ मिल पाना।
I missed the point. What did he say? So there is no dairy industry. It will not be so easy to get beef. Oh, if there is no dairy industry, it will not be easy to get beef. So yeah, so it's all a matter of money, just money.
नहीं होगी तो इतना आसान नहीं होगा बीफ मिल पाना।
गाय अगर बच्चा देती है, अगर वो फीमेल काफ हो तो उसको अपने साथ रखा जाता है, लाइक फीमेल बछड़ा। और अगर वो मेल हो तो मेल का नॉर्मली कुछ यूज़ नहीं होता। बहुत सारे कम फार्मर्स हैं जो उनको रखते हैं खेती के लिए, बट अभी खेती भी ऑलमोस्ट ट्रैक्टर के द्वारा ही की जाती है। तो वो मेल काफ को बेच देते हैं स्लॉटर हाउस में या फिर वो लेदर।
So they sell the calves to slaughterhouses or leather companies. The male calves specifically.
और ये गाय फिर जाती है कत्ल के लिए। ट्रकों में भर भर करके जाते हैं। अब
So this is a cow going to slaughter. They're sold to slaughter.
ये जो गाय जाती है बहुत ही बुरी तरह से काटते हैं, जिसको कहते हैं मॉडर्न स्लॉटर हाउस। उसमें वो भैंस को के
They put a fetter on the buffalo's leg and hang them upside down with the sudden jerk. Yeah, I think I saw that on Instagram. It's just like they like really do it really fast, so they fall and then they hang them. Yeah.
पैर पर बेड़ी डाल देते हैं, एक पैर पर, और उसको एकदम से झटके से ऊपर उल्टा टांग देते हैं। इसमें वो टांग टूट जाती है।
This breaks her leg. Oh wow!
Yeah. Like
they do that while she's alive, right?
They do crazy things. They do crazy stuff. Literally, I've seen this video of the cow in the buffalo in the slaughterhouse right before slaughter, because it was like, I mean, she was a female mother who was like being sent to slaughter. Like the last, I mean, they were like literally just before like slaughtering her, they squeezed the milk out of her body that was still left in her body just right before slaughter, like in the slaughterhouse, because I don't know what I just
to squeeze another last buck. Yeah.
उसके बाद एक लाइन में भैंसों को डालते हैं जिंदा है। पहले तो उबला हुआ पानी उनके ऊपर डालते हैं ताकि
after that, buffaloes are put in a line. First, boiled water is poured over them while they're still alive. And this is standard practice, is it?
I don't know what goes on in the slaughterhouse. Like she's telling what she knows, because she knows quite a lot of things. Like that's why, yeah.
भैंसों को डालते हैं जिंदा है। पहले तो उबला हुआ पानी उनके ऊपर डालते हैं ताकि उनके शरीर
so that the skin becomes loose.
त्वचा जो है वो हल्की हो जाए। उसके बाद उसका गर्दन काटते हैं।
Then they cut the neck.
थोड़ा सा, ताकि खून
Only little, so that the blobs keep draining out, so the blood keeps draining out.
निकलता रहे, खून निकलते
The blood continues to ooze because they sell the blood to the pharmaceutical industry. That's where there's like there's a grown-up version of FBS, right? It's bovine growth serum, BBS. Oh, BGS. Yeah.
क्योंकि खून वो बेचते हैं दवाई की इंडस्ट्री.
But it's supposed to be collected in like almost a sterile environment, so I'm not sure.
But everything takes place in everywhere.
Yeah.
Like you have no idea what is really considered sterile. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like
ये जो iron tonic और आप पीते.
This is the same iron tonic that you take. So this is for like a iron supplement. They created from the blood of the slaughtered buffaloes.
सब लेते हैं, ये वही खून है. फिर उसके
guys take vegan iron. What's going on? After
Honestly.
that, yeah, they start skinning it alive. And only then that cow or the buffalo dies. This is horrific stuff, Yagna.
के बाद वो उसका चमड़ा उतारना शुरू कर देता है जिंदा भैंस से, और उसके बाद ही वो गाय भैंस जो भी है मर जाती है. ये मॉडर्न स्लॉटर हाउस जिसको जो केरला के स्लॉटर हाउसेस हैं उनका भी अनोखा तरीका है गाय भैंस को मारने का. और वो
So other slaughterhouses in some other place also have a unique way to slaughter.
Yeah, they have like unique ways. It's crazy. Like I think the video. Yeah, you can just play the video.
Maybe I'm gonna skip the playing. I'm just gonna I don't know. Guys, tell me if you want to. I mean, okay, we're gonna watch
it's
it,
a
but
part of the documentary. Like
yeah, you guys, you can look away if you want. I'm gonna say what it says on the screen. So there, they take a hammer and hit them on the head until the whole mouth body explodes.
वो ये है कि वो हथौड़ा लेते हैं और सिर पर हथौड़ा तब तक मारते हैं जब तक पूरा मुंह शरीर फट ना जाए. और क्यों करते हैं?
And why do they do it? Because they say it makes the meat tastier.
क्योंकि वो कहते हैं कि इससे मांस मीठा होता. और जगहों में
And at other places they are slit with a rusted blade, sometimes with a knife.
तो वो कभी रस्टेड ब्लेड के साथ करते हैं, कभी छुरी के साथ करते हैं, लेकिन 15 मिनट से आधा घंटा लगता है उस
But it takes 15 to 30 minutes for the cow or the buffalo to die. Yeah, if you don't do it correctly, suffocation. Asphyxiation takes a long time.
गाय या भैंस को मरने के लिए.
Looks satanic. I agree, Utops.
अभी हमने एक ट्रक
Recently we caught a truck with that which was going to Bengal.
पकड़ा जो जा रही थी बंगाल, क्योंकि
because cow slaughter is allowed in Bengal.
बंगाल में इजाजत है गाय को काटने के लिए, तो यहाँ से सारे
From here all the cows also go there and also go to Kerala. So they go to the places where it's allowed to slaughter. Yeah.
गाय वहाँ भी जाती है, केरला जाती है. ये दोनों स्टेट
Unfortunately, these both states are our loopholes.
हमारे unfortunately loopholes हैं. तो हमने पकड़ा.
So the truck that we caught contained 60 cows instead of 6.
एक ट्रक जो जा रही थी, उसमें 6 गाय होने के बजाय उसमें 60 गाय थे. और सब
And all the cows were pregnant. Wow.
सब के सब गर्भवती थे.
Yeah, like a recent news came up, and the way they are actually exporting these cows or buffaloes, you know, these petrol trucks, you know, where they like all these like big huge tankers, like these kind of looking like trucks with like to store petrol.
Yeah.
Literally they were exporting. Like there was a video like that captured that they were actually exporting cows and buffaloes in such tankers just so they don't get caught.
Wow.
So this was like exposed recently. I'll share the video with you. Yeah, like
Horrific stuff, Jesus Christ.
yeah.
और क्योंकि एक के ऊपर
Because they all were one on top of another.
एक के ऊपर एक ठूसे गए थे
All piled up in this truck.
ट्रक में उनके
There was so much pressure on the abdomen that the fetus had to come out. So they were like aborting their pregnancies in this truck.
पेट पर इतना दबाव हो गया था कि फीटस बाहर निकला हुआ था और वो पूरा
And the whole truck was full of blood. The mothers were also crying.
पूरा ट्रक खून से भर भर करके fetuses भी माँ भी रोए fetus भी
The fetuses also turned out to be dead.
मरी हुई निकली ट्रक के पीछे पीछे से
Recognized by blood leaking from the back of the truck.
खून निकलते निकलते ऐसे तो हमने पहचाना नहीं तो वो
Otherwise, the smugglers would have closed it properly. Yeah, so it would not be recognized.
I myself received this video. Like I don't know if I can like show you. Yeah, you can see, right?
Yeah.
So I just like a few days ago, this is from, one of those trucks that was like caught like exporting literally like look at them like
Oh my God.
I mean literally the way they're like tied up, like I've received, so like it's
Why? That's horrific stuff.
it's crazy. Yeah, just wanted to like
That's terrible. Jesus Christ.
वो बंद कर देते हैं स्मगलर्स ताकि आप पहचान ना पाए
Given that the cow is deeply rooted in the Indian identity, cow slaughter has also become a geopolitical tool. Hence, my pursuit for answers didn't end here, and I had more questions. Since my attempts to approach beef traders was a dead end, I decided to meet Gaurakshaks, the people who are often blamed for what is called cow vigilantism. Strangely, many of the Gaurakshaks I approached were also reluctant to speak on camera. I finally managed to get one Gaurakshak who agreed to do an interview with me.
So Gorakshak, what do they do? What do you mean by what do they mean by cow vigilante?
Gaurakshak means like cow savior.
So they rescue us.
Some people consider them as that they are, they want to work, I mean, it's a very good thing if you consider yourself as a cow savior. So yeah, that's an interview with him, a person who considers himself as a cow savior.
All right.
कसाई लोबी इतनी पावरफुल है कसाई लोबी कि इनके पास
Butchers are also so powerful. They have a business worth lakh 2 crores each. What is lakhs?
It just means like millions and like all he means is like it's the amount of money they're earning is crazy.
Okay.
The butcher and everyone.
लाखों का धंधा है 1-2 करोड़ का आप सोच सकते हैं जो 3500 किलो
You can imagine that the truck that I caught with 3,500 kilograms of beef.
मैंने गौ मांस का गाड़ी पकड़ा था अगर वो 300 रुपया
And if we assume 300 rupees per kilogram
पकड़ते 300 रुपया 3500 किलो
for 3,500 kilograms, it would be worth 12 to 14 lakh. So 1.2 to 1.4 million rupees.
आज वो 12-14 लाख का होता है
Yeah, so lakh means 100,000. Ton, you asked before. I'm sorry, I couldn't tell you.
आप सोच सकते हैं वो
What was that? Sorry?
3500 किलो आज वो 12-14 लाख का होता है आप
You can
सोच सकते हैं वो आइसर गाड़ी
that Eicher vehicle worth 18 to 20 times 100,000, so 1.8 to 2 million was rotting like this in Mandvi Post, at Mandvi Post.
गाड़ी 18-20 लाख का आज मांडवी चौकी पे ऐसे ही सड़ रहा है आज 6 महीना होने
It is going to be 6 months now. So what are they talking about? What is that? There's like a truck that was stopped with beef in it.
Can you like go like a little behind?
Yeah, sure.
कि इनके पास लाखों का धंधा है, 1-1, 2-2 करोड़ का। आप सोच सकते हैं, जो 3500 किलो मैंने गौ मांस का गाड़ी पकड़ा था, अगर वो 300 रुपया पकड़ते, 300 रुपया 3500 किलो, तो आज वो 12-14 लाख का होता है। आप सोच सकते हैं, वो आइसर गाड़ी 18-20 लाख का आज मांडवी चौकी पे ऐसे ही सड़ रहा है। आज 6 महीना होने को आया। तो ये लोग भी इतनी पावरफुल है कि कल हमको हमारा एक्सीडेंट भी करवा सकते हैं। हमें 3 टाइम पुलिस के सामने मारा गया है।
So the thing is, the cow saviors, they spot the trucks who are, exporting the cows and buffaloes, and then they stop them. They try to stop them, and because it's like illegal, right?
Yeah.
So the thing is, he's talking about how much money the dairy industry and the workers in the slaughterhouse, and how powerful they are because of the money. They can literally get these people killed so easily, like just because they know that they're trying to stop the export, or they can literally get anything done because of all the money they have.
Yeah, that's why they don't want to talk to the camera, do they? Jesus.
Yeah, exactly.
पुलिस डिपार्टमेंट के सामने और अभी
So they can get killed in front of a police department. Recently, 20-30 days ago, the police were also beaten up. Jesus Christ. Wow.
तो 20 दिन महीने पहले पुलिस को भी मारा गया। हमारे गौरक्षक राजेश पाल को 200 जन ने मॉब लिंचिंग करके मारा।
Another person was beaten up by a crowd of 200 people. From this situation, we protect cows.
से हम गौरक्षा करते, जो काम प्रशासन,
which is actually the job of the administration. True. The fucking government should be doing this, not like... wait,
They're
are the
not
cow
gonna.
saviors, are they
Because
getting
of the money.
paid? Or they're just like vigilantes?
They're just like made because of like, I don't know, the thought of compassion, and they want to do something.
The activists.
So just they're activists. Yeah, they're activists.
This explains why many Gaurakshaks had declined to do an interview.
Yeah.
Because they were threatened by corrupt law enforcement officials, local politicians, and butchers. In some cases, there's corruption within the community.
पकड़ते तो क्या है, जो गोरक्षक बन के रहते हैं ना, वो रुकाते हैं, उनको 20,000 देते हैं, वो कार स्टार्ट करके चले जाते हैं।
So they're talking about bribes on the... Yeah.
ओरिजिनलिटी तो ये है। अच्छा। हैं?
So they're getting paid off in the crossing checkpoints
Corruption.
and stuff. Yeah, corruption.
सब लेते हैं।
Oh, they say even the cow savers are taking money.
तो क्या है, दूध देगा? एक गोरक्षक क्या होता है, का पैसा धंधा बना रखा है।
Everybody's making it a business.
हैं? सबका अपना धंधा है। धंधा तो क्या है, धर्म भ्रष्ट करनी बात है। या किसी के सामने आओ मत ना यार, गोरक्षक तो घर के बैठ जाना। लेकिन क्या रोकते पैसे देते भग जाते।
Sometimes, Gaurakshaks receive information about cow smuggling from the butchers themselves, who leak the information to destroy their competitors' beef trade.
Jesus.
This was a whole new level of complexities. It turns out that cows have been prominent in Indian politics for ages. Cow slaughter is strictly condemned throughout the Bhagavatam, which implies that they were slaughtered even during those times. The Vishnu Puranam, for example, states that in Kali Yugam, the present age of Kali, one should not perform sacrificial killing of cows. It was prohibited because it was practiced. If it wasn't practiced, it wouldn't be prohibited. The idea of using cows for political gains with little consideration to the welfare of cows is common practice in many parts of the country now. However, using cows for political gains is nothing new and goes back many centuries. When the British came to India, because they were used to consuming large quantities of milk products,
It's all the Brits. Sorry, my Brits brothers.
established dairy farms in their major settlements. Simultaneously, they also began constructing slaughterhouses for their desire to consume beef. Practices such as hookah or dhoomdev, blowing air into a cow's vagina for excess milk, took place in and around British settlements. This also led Mahatma Gandhi to quit consuming milk from cows and buffaloes. After World War II, dairy farmers were in chaos, and to counter the exploitation by the British, a cooperative union was formed in Gujarat. It was during this time Verghese Kurian, who later came to be known as the father of White Revolution, stepped in and co-founded Amul in 1957 and the NDDB in 1965.
So supposedly those are some kind of protection agencies? Or
No. These are the people who introduced and brought dairy forward.
So the bad guys.
Yeah.
The Indian government also actively supported the establishment of the dairy businesses.
I'm so lucky that you are here because some of those things are not explained. Thank you for being here.
More than nutrition, dairy was looked at as a tool for economic empowerment. In fact, in the 1960s, when Operation Flood was proposed to developed countries for funds, they openly criticized India, saying,
"Should valuable land be diverted from food production to animal feed production?" they asked.
To which Verghese Kurian himself said,
"The criticism did have some validity."
Amul, through crowdfunding, made a movie in 1976 called Manthan, which encouraged the people across India to step into the dairy business. By this time, artificial insemination was made popular. As time progressed, the dairy farmers and unions grew in numbers. The government's incentives for dairy farmers also increased. Around the same time, Hindu organizations demanded an end to cow slaughter. Governments, however, paid little to no heed. These demands eventually culminated in the form of the anti-cow slaughter agitation.
So the people arose and said no more cow slaughter, but it's okay to exploit the mother. That's all right.
The 7th of November 1966, thousands...
We are asked how many... we've been going for an hour and a half, so I think we should split it into two parts because I love the intermissions that you do, explaining a little bit more. So maybe we watch another half an hour or maybe a little more, 45 minutes. And next week, Sahil might join us. You're welcome to come back as well if you want. But yeah, I think we're not gonna watch the entire film today. It's too much.
Gathered in Delhi and marched towards the parliament, demanding the immediate nationwide ban on cow slaughter. In response to this, the then Indira Gandhi-led government ordered the police to fire at the crowd. Following this incident, fearing fallout, these developments forced Indira Gandhi to set up a panel to see if a nationwide ban on cow slaughter was feasible. Committee members included Shankaracharya of Puri, Verghese Kurian, and others. I found out more about what happened during the committee meetings when I read Kurian's autobiography. He said,
"My brief was to prevent any ban on cow slaughter. It was important for us in the dairy business to keep weeding out the unhealthy cows so that available resources could be utilized for healthy and productive cattle. Shankaracharya and I took spontaneous dislike of one another. I was prepared to go as far as to allow that no useful cow should be killed. This was the point on which the Shankaracharya and I invariably locked horns and got into heated arguments. I constantly asked him, 'Your Holiness, are you going to take all the useless cows which are not producing anything and look after them and feed them till they die?' You know,
supposedly that's how Gaushalas were born.
No, that cannot work. He never had any answer to my query."
This was the direct link between dairy and beef. Here's a statement from the man who built the dairy industry from the ground up, agreeing to what the activists were saying all along. That was precisely the root of the problem. that dairy farmers are encouraged to get rid of the unproductive animals by slaughter.
तो बाद में क्या होता है उनका उम्र कम होने तो दूध भी कम हो जाता ना फिर तो उसको रख के आप लोगों को कुछ मिलता नहीं ना क्योंकि
But in their defense,
So again, there's no point of keeping a cow that doesn't produce anymore.
like Kurian said, where else are they going to go? Who's going to take care of them? As the dairy consumption increased over the decades, the population of animals also went up, mainly through industrial breeding practices. This massively increased the scale of beef and leather exports from India. Unlike the rest of the world, in India, the dairy farms are inherently designed keeping in mind the beef industry and other byproducts. They keep the beef industry in business. What this ultimately means is that consuming dairy products is the same as supporting the slaughter of these animals. Today's India is very different from the newly independent India. The country is aggressively shifting from agrarian to an industrial and capitalist nation, and dairy too has become an industry. Milk and milk products today are marketed and sold in countless varieties, both edible and non-edible. It is worth noting that since the White Revolution, the load of milk production has largely depended on buffaloes and not cows.
Do you know the percent of how many are buffalo and how many are cows? But also you said they're interbred.
Yeah, it's like
so
90% are buffaloes. Like, yeah,
90% are buffaloes?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm gonna like get the official numbers, but yeah, I think it's around that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Even though both cows and buffaloes involved in the White Revolution faced slaughter, Hindu societies focused their attention solely on cows, mainly for its religious significance.
Fucking hypocrites.
The discussions were limited only to cow protection. Even today, barely anyone speaks for the protection of buffaloes because of their negative connotations in Hindu texts. One story is that of Mahishasur, a demon in the form of a buffalo who was killed by goddess Durga. Another story is that the buffalo is the vehicle of Yamaraj, the lord of death. Therefore, in India, people perceive buffaloes negatively and consider them to be lazy, unintelligent, and unholy in comparison to cows.
But it's fucking funny. Basically the same animal. With the slight variation in the derivation of evolution.
Ironically, Indians today consume more buffalo milk than cow milk, and rarely think of a buffalo's negative attributes while doing so. The committee formed.
Do they know? Do they know? Do they know they consume mostly? Does it say on the label it's buffalo milk and not cow milk?
Not necessarily. They won't put anything on the label that will like decrease their sales, right?
Yeah.
All they put is milk and then the other stuff, like just to market it.
So most of the animals exploited for dairy in India are buffaloes, but the people who consume that milk don't even know it.
Dumb.
Formed in 1967 was to submit a report in 6 months, but kept delaying it for 12 years. When Morarji Desai became the Prime Minister, the committee was abolished without even a request to submit a report. As per Article 37 and 48 of the Indian Constitution, with exception for international trade, organizations of agriculture and animal husbandry fall under the purview of states, and only the states can decide a ban on slaughter of cows, that is if they wish to. For international trade, India banned cow beef exports, however, allowed buffalo beef to be exported in the name of Cara beef.
The bull, calf or the cow, we do not export. Protection of the bull, calf and the cow and the livestock related issues are managed by the states.
From you shaking your head, I'm guessing that's not correct. That's many cow beef.
It's just that they're just trying to fool people by, saying this or these words and not. I mean, they are the same species, like literally.
Yeah.
It's the same species, but I don't know, like it's yeah.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
We don't allow export of any of these. But however, in the West, there is an expression called kara beef, which is used for buffaloes. The buffaloes are permitted, we can export buffaloes.
We are the world's largest beef exporters. और ये beef जो हम कहते हैं भैंस का है.
Sorry, yeah.
They just try to like justify just by saying cara beef. Oh, we won't use the word beef. We will use the word cara beef.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know.
Yeah, it's kind of insane. It's hypocritical as fuck, right? Because I mean, okay, I guess not, because it's like religiously motivated, and you know, I'm sorry, just religions york me a certain way, but
honestly,
yeah. So she says beef we call buffaloes. Yeah, that's
ये भैंस और गाय दोनों का.
But they are a mixture of buffalo and cow. Does she mean the breeds are mixtured, or the beef is like from whichever animal? I mean, I understand.
Yeah, I think
we don't see the difference, the morally significant difference between the two animals, right? But I just want to understand, because I talk to a lot of Indian people who are trying to tell me that the cow is a mother and they're not treated badly in India and all that stuff. So I want to be knowledgeable. So I want to understand, do they mix up the beef together, or does she mean that it's the breeds
in cara beef?
In
cara beef. I think she's saying it's a mixture of both buffalo and cows. So yeah, that's true, because like less percentage of cows, but even cows are being exploited for milk.
Yeah.
But in the dairy farms I go to, for example, I'll see like, for example, if there are like 150 bovine animals, like buffaloes over there, out of them 5 or like under 10 will be like cows.
Yeah.
So yeah, less numbers. And also like cows, there were like ones were like the natural ones that existed, I think, and then we bred them, and then there were like buffaloes and all of them, right? You know, but we just like call them, I mean, these are just like labels that, oh, just because cows are labeled as mothers, and you have never said like buffaloes are also mothers.
Yeah.
Just because it's not like said, you know, like, or I mean, they have the same, like they're not too different from cows. Like they're not really that different from cows. Like literally the same breed.
Yeah.
Just because they look slightly different, they're saying, oh, it's legal to do that, just so that they don't offend the religious and, you know, those thoughts of people, like that kind of connection. They don't want to disappoint people. Because government runs on votes and, you know, by the favor of people, but they don't want to like disappoint them. So I don't know, they're just trying to fool people with words. That's just what it is like.
Yeah. It's a real shame. Yep.
मिला हुआ है, कोई चेक करने वाला है नहीं.
So no one
क्योंकि
checks.
इसमें करोड़ों रुपए बंधे हुए हैं.
As of mid-2022, 9 states and 2 union territories do not have any ban on cow and buffalo slaughter. 18 states and the remaining union territories, on the other hand, have a complete ban on cow and calf slaughter. However, for bulls, ox, and buffalo calves, some states allowed it, while some didn't. Whereas for buffaloes, slaughter remains legal. Chhattisgarh is the only state in India that has a complete ban on all cow and buffalo slaughter and transport.
But and transport, so they can't even export cows.
Irrespective of age and gender.
Wow.
These variations in laws and their poor enforcement lead to complicated problems like cattle being smuggled from states with a ban to states without one.
So Coimbatore is like any trucks that have to go to Kerala has to pass through Coimbatore. So when Coimbatore stopped that, all the trucks that had to go to Kerala suffered. So there were meetings after meetings, the chief secretaries, everybody was called. So it was like a powerful political scenario where you know, the question of Coimbatore cannot just do it. We have to allow the traffic. And we said follow the laws and you do it. Follow the laws as per PCA Act. We do it as per the regulations. Nobody was willing to accept it because it wouldn't give them the kind of profits that they were expecting, and it would be a huge loss for them if they did it. So making it difficult is one way that we can see that things can come down. But how do you enforce such laws? Who is there to enforce them? The ones who enforce themselves are party to the, what you call the industry of collecting bribes, and it is a huge. You have the bribing happens from one end to the other end. Every checkpost, it is there.
Wow.
Illegal transport of animals to neighboring countries like buffaloes to Nepal, cows to Bangladesh, and even Pakistan is a result of poor enforcement of animal protection laws. Hidden slaughterhouses within the cities, where beef is mixed with mutton and body fat with ghee, are commonly known.
So like even that, right? So they just slaughter other animals and put the body parts all together, and they're like, yeah, it's fine, no worries, right? But like the other animals, we don't give a shit about. Jesus.
Enforced laws, biased news reporting, corruption, and negligence among law enforcers ultimately creates room for religious tensions, black money, human trafficking, and even terrorism.
जगह है देहरादून नाम के एक शहर में जहाँ से मैं बिलोंग करती हूँ, उसका नाम है इनामुल्ला बिल्डिंग. वहाँ पर ये एक्चुअली अवेयर.
So in the city, the name escapes me, this illegal animal slaughter of cows and buffaloes was going on over there intensely for a very long time.
पशुवध, गाय भैंसों का कत्ल बहुत समय से बहुत ज़्यादा चला आ रहा था, और
And at the same place, many terrorists from the neighboring country were also caught multiple times.
उसी जगह पे कई बार पड़ोसी देश के टेररिस्ट भी पकड़े गए. किसी भी शहर.
The most criminal place in any city is where many animals are slaughtered.
कि सबसे क्रिमिनल जगह वही होती है जहाँ पे बहुत सारे पशुओं को काटा जाता है, क्योंकि ऐसे लोग.
Because such people who do not have any problem with knives, blood, etc.
जिनको चाकू छुरे, खून वगैरह से.
I mean, we can see that in the West, right, as well. In towns with slaughterhouses, there is more violence generally.
कोई प्रॉब्लम नहीं होती. वही तमाम
also graduate in all kinds of other crimes.
तरह के अन्य क्राइम्स की ओर भी ग्रेजुएट करते हैं.
एक बहुत बड़ा.
There was very well known. What is IG? I don't know.
IG था जिसका नाम है शैलजाकांत मिश्र. उन्होंने
he conducted a study which pointed out that these illegal slaughterhouses.
एक स्टडी करी जहाँ उसने ये पिन पॉइंट किया कि जो illegal slaughterhouses है, smuggling industries बांग्लादेश में भेजने वाले लोग हैं, this
is entirely going towards
guns and the destruction of the Indian state. ये जो
I love it that they sometimes switch from English to Indian and back. That's really interesting.
That happens.
आप सोचते कि हल्कापन है, जानवरों के ही सौदा कर रहे हैं.
What you take lightly, that you are only dealing with animals. I'm not sure what that sentence means.
I'll explain after this part. Yeah.
Okay.
ये पूरे हिंदुस्तान की safety and security का सौदा होता है. And this is not what I'm saying. This is what the police has said again and again. कि ये सबसे खतरनाक धंधा है.
Yeah, this is the most dangerous business. Please explain.
So, can you like rewind a little bit? Like, because IG means like Inspector General. So like one inspector from a policeman.
Yeah.
Yeah,
sorry.
So in his words and in their words as well, they say that this is like the most risky business that's gonna get people killed. Ultimately, that's what she's saying.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
ये सबसे खतरनाक धंधा है.
Because the root problem of inability to provide welfare for dry animals was never addressed, the problems have persisted, and so have the conflicts. The dairy industry thrives on selling unproductive animals for slaughter and resists laws that challenges it. The introduction of stringent anti-cow slaughter laws, for example in the state of UP, focused on banning illegal slaughterhouses and not on rehabilitation of stray animals. Since the dairymen failed to feed unproductive animals and couldn't sell them for slaughter, they started abandoning cows and bulls onto the streets. These stray cattle became a nuisance to many farmers as they started feeding on the crops. Even schools were shut down when farmers got fed up and sent stray animals to schools as a protest. Some have even thrown acid to kill them. Once abandoned onto the streets, these animals either get kidnapped for slaughter, meet with road accidents, eat plastics and other harmful waste items, or starve and die. Animals are kidnapped even from rescue shelters and gaushalas.
That day what happened, that side the camel was, where we were unloading, and this side 3 bulls were cut off from their, the place where it was kept, and we could not.
So they're actually like kidnapping animals from goshalas. Wow, that's corrupt.
Trace it.
While traveling with my team for an interview, I saw an injured cow on the road. While we stopped to get her to a proper shelter, she ate a plastic bag. Plastics have become a huge problem for stray animals. To discuss the issue, I met Hanumanji, who performs plastic removal surgery from the stomachs of animals.
तो किसी का फ़ोन आया था हमारे पास कि रोड पे वहाँ पे एक गौ माता पड़ी है, तो हम लोगों ने जाके देखा वहाँ पे, तो उसकी हालत बहुत ही खराब थी, बहुत ही खराब पोजीशन में था। पीछे भी बहुत बड़ा घाव हो गया था और उसका पैर टूट गया था, और गाड़ी वाले ने ऐसी ठोकर मारी कि उसका कमर ही पूरा तोड़ दिया, अंदर का सिस्टम पूरा तोड़ दिया। ये जो दर्द है यही दर्द नहीं है, इसका असली दर्द है इसके अंदर में। इसके अंदर में क्या भरा हुआ है वो किसी को भी मालूम नहीं है। इसके अंदर में कम से कम 25 से 30 किलो प्लास्टिक का कचरा भरा होगा।
So this is a doctor who treats animals found on the street. So he's talking about the many injuries this cow endured, including 25 to 30 kilograms of plastic found in her stomach.
तो ये पीड़ा तो उसको है ही, वो तो अपने को दिख रही।
So that of course caused a lot of physical pain for the cow.
ये लेकिन जो अंदर वाली जो पीड़ा है, प्लास्टिक का कचरा, लोहे की कील, कांच का टुकड़ा, ये सब आइटम अंदर में है इसके। रास्ते में कोई भी गौवंश देखो आप रोड पे, तो उसमें देख लेना कि उसमें कम से कम 30 से 35 किलो प्लास्टिक 100% भरा ही होएगा।
With all his resources, his organization could only perform 120 surgeries. Today, there are about 50 lakh stray cattle all over India. In every case, they are abandoned
5 million stray animals.
Because they are no longer economically viable. The tragedy and its scale both are inconceivable. None of these shelters or hospitals get any monetary support or funding from the governments.
You are getting any help from the government?
No, not a single paisa, not a foot of land, nothing at all. They gave me this award, but that was it.
Who is this woman? She looks like a hero.
Yeah, she was been awarded like an award as well by the government of India, which is like an heroic award. That is what it's called. Padma Shri award is like an heroic award. Actually, even I want to know more about her, but yeah, she was there before as well. No, she was introduced before.
Yeah.
So yeah, she does work for animals as well. Yeah.
I knew I could recognize a hero. Jesus. Amazing.
In the end, cows and buffaloes are transported to slaughterhouses under inhumane conditions, packed one on top of another, not fed for days without water in extreme heat and cold weather.
एक ट्रक में अगर एक-एक लेके जाएंगे या
If one carries one or as many as the law allows, 4 or 5 in a truck, then that is a loss for them, yeah. Because they have to bribe people on the way, so they pack them like that. Jesus.
अलाउ करता है 4 लेके जाएंगे या 5 लेके जाएंगे तो उसमें नुकसान है.
Okay.
तो एक ट्रक में
If you have to transport animals from point A to point B in a truck,
अगर आपको एक पॉइंट ए से पॉइंट बी तक उन जानवरों को पहुंचाना है तो
the best way to save money is to have as many animals in one truck as possible.
पैसा बचाने का तरीका क्या हुआ सबसे अच्छा कि एक ट्रक में जितने ज़्यादा जानवर आ जाए.
Maybe after this, after the Indian stuff, I'm going to go through what a Western truck of cattle looks like. It's it's not the same, right? They are not packed like the Tetris shapes, right? But they're packed pretty tight as well.
तो आप इमेजिन नहीं कर सकते.
So you cannot imagine that at least 40 to 60 are found in a single truck.
तो होंगे कि शायद एक ट्रक में 40 से 60 तो मिनिमम पाए ही जाते हैं. तो
40 to 60 animals are loaded into the trucks which are carried daily for being to slaughter.
Animals उन ट्रकों में भरा हुए होते हैं जो रोज कटने के लिए जाते हैं.
Once the animals reach the slaughterhouses, whether it's legal or illegal, the situation is unfortunately the same.
हमने वहाँ पे देखा कि कैसे
We saw how the animals, the buffaloes, were kept lying down.
जानवरों को, भैंसों को नीचे लिटा के रखा हुआ है, उनके पैरों को बांधा.
Their legs were tied down, their necks were stretched to kill them over the drain, right? I saw that footage. Hello, UK Night Rider.
हुआ है, उनकी गर्दनों को खींचा हुआ है, उनको मारने के लिए.
I'm sorry, guys. I should have.
कैसे छोटी-छोटी नालियाँ बनी हुई हैं जिनमें उनका खून बहता जा रहा है, जितनी भी भैंसें काटी जा रही हैं. क्या छोटे, क्या बड़े.
I'm so sorry. I didn't know. There were buffaloes of all ages, whether small or big.
सारी उम्र की भैंसें वहाँ पर थीं, जो कि एक दूसरे के सामने.
Which were being slaughtered in front of each other.
जिनको काटा जा रहा था, उनको पूरा clearly.
It was clear to them that perhaps the same thing was going to happen to them. Obviously.
दिख रहा था कि शायद हमारे साथ भी ऐसा ही होने वाला है. और ना सिर्फ ये, बल्कि हमने ये भी
But also, we also saw that the animals who were standing in the line to be slaughtered.
देखा कि जो जानवर कटने के लिए लाइन में खड़े थे कत्ल खाने के बाहर.
Outside the slaughterhouse.
जो शायद बूढ़ी भैंस.
Were probably old buffaloes and those whose milk has reduced.
से थी. और जिनका दूध कम हो जाता है, उनका भी दूध आखिरी एक बूंद तक
being squeezed out till the very last drop is what you said as well.
का दूध निचोड़ा जा रहा था.
कटते हुए जानवरों से भी
even the last drop of milk is scraped from the cut animals.
आखिरी बूंद दूध की लोच ली जाती है. जब वो गाय कट रही
even while the cow is being
होती है, तब भी उसको ऑक्सीटोसिन का टीका.
The last drop of milk from its udders is collected in bottles by injecting with oxytocin, which is what you said.
At the end, oh my God, I didn't know this. Like even at the time of slaughter, they injected her body with that injection so that they could like squeeze out every last drop of milk. Like I didn't know that she was like injected.
That means
like,
that India beef contains oxytocin, guys. Most likely.
I'm sure it must be in, I don't know, the Western countries as well, no? Like the injection must be like everywhere.
No, I think me and Sahil talked about this. So I have two hypotheses. One of them is that the animals were just bred to give milk without needing to see the calf as well. So the calf is not presented in most cases, like in small farms, they still like present the calf, like homestead and stuff like that. Or will present a calf wearing the skin of another calf, so we know that happens sometimes. But in like large dairies of 100 cows and more, like what we call factory farms, that's not happening. I think it's just the breed is such that they just give a lot of milk. And my second hypothesis was
unsure, no?
Sorry?
Are you like unsure about that?
Yeah, I don't know. Well, I never heard about them getting any kind of injections. It would be impractical as well in a farm where you have 100, 200, 500 cows, right? And the second thing that I think is actually happening is the mechanical manipulation of the teats is the thing that produces the milk.
I'm sure there must be something. Could be in their feed, could be, I don't know. There must be something. I'm
I
sure.
should
Like we'll research more and we'll find out. Like
yeah. I was looking through the.
I think there has to be.
Yeah, I was looking at literature on the subject, you know, dairy-produced literature, and I couldn't find anything. I just don't know what to search for. So whatever I found wasn't talking about that. It was talking about calf health, and wasn't talking about production of milk. It's not mentioned at all. So I'm not sure. It is a conundrum. It's weird.
Necessary. Could be not necessary because if they're bred to like produce more and we just keep squeezing out, we force their bodies to like just keep on, you know, going. Yeah, but yeah, could be.
Yeah, I have no idea. One day I might find an ex-dairy farmer to talk to, I guess.
लगा के जो उसकी थनों से आखिरी
So they inject them oxytocin while they're being slaughtered for beef. Oh, sorry, for cattle beef. Yeah. Am I saying it correctly?
Yeah. Cara beef.
Cara beef. Sorry, cara beef.
दूध की बूंद होती है वो बोतलों में इकट्ठी की जा रही होती है
कई बार हमें
Sometimes when our college couldn't take us to the farm, we are taken to a slaughterhouse. What?
कॉलेज की तरफ से अगर
Oh, so it's a veterinary doctor. Jesus.
फार्म पे पॉसिबल नहीं है तो स्लॉटर हाउसेस में ले जाया जाता है for rectal examinations वगैरह के लिए.
For rectal examinations. Oh, just to learn how to do them. Yeah.
Just to learn.
तो अगर हम उसके लिए जब जाते हैं तो जो एनिमल स्लॉटर होने
to perform examinations on the animals which are going to be slaughtered.
हमें उन पे करने बोलते हैं और उस टाइम पे हमें टीचर से बड़ा स्ट्रिक्ट इंस्ट्रक्शन मिलता है कि
we are given very strict instructions from the teacher that
तुमने rectal examination
if you think the animal is pregnant during the prerectal examination
के वक्त तुम्हें वो एनिमल प्रेग्नेंट समझा तो बताना मत.
Just keep quiet.
जो स्लॉटर हाउस ने उनको
The
खरीदा है
slaughterhouses has paid a lot of money
So like
to buy
I
them.
think so like I think it's like not legal or there are some prohibitions on like slaughtering a cow or a buffalo who's like pregnant. So when like the doctors are like sent for their training or to like test, I mean they are sent to like test out if the buffaloes or cows being slaughtered are pregnant. Even if they are like bribed or they are like forced to say that they're not. So even if a cow or a buffalo is pregnant, because the slaughterhouse has paid, you know, just now what it says, has paid a lot of money to the teachers of those students, like who are like.
Yeah, so they prioritize the economic situation of the slaughterhouses and the farmers rather than any animals. Yeah.
उन्होंने काफी पैसे दिए उसके लिए. तो अगर वो
if the animal is declared pregnant
animal
by
को
us,
हमने pregnant declare कर दिया तो उसको
then they won't be able to slaughter them.
slaughter नहीं कर पाएंगे और फिर उसको
And then the cost of keeping them will increase.
रखने का जो खर्चा है वो बढ़ जाएगा. ये चीज हमारे साथ जब
When I experienced it for the first time, I felt very bad.
हुआ था जब मैंने पहली बार एक्सपीरियंस किया था तो काफी बुरा लगा था जब सर ने मना
When the teacher told us to keep quiet.
कि नहीं कुछ बोल मत नहीं तो कॉलेज का
Else the contract that the college had with the slaughterhouse to come there would be
जो
cancelled.
कॉन्ट्रैक्ट है यहाँ आने का वो बंद हो जाएगा.
This is insane that the documentary maker made this discovery. This is incredible.
At the slaughterhouse, the animals are converted into beef, their bones and tendons into gelatin and bone char, their skin into leather, suede, and dog chew sticks, their horns into buttons, and so on.
In the case of the mridangam, there are three animals' skins are used. One is a goat, other is the cow, and the buffalo. So three animals are slaughtered to get the mridangam. In current day scenario, the cows are specifically slaughtered to make the mridangam membrane.
Demand for dairy is also leading to a huge gender gap amongst bovine animals. In the dairy business, only females are preferred and males are starved to death. According to the 20th livestock census, only 25% of the cattle population is male, whereas among buffaloes, it's even worse. Only 10% of the buffalo population is male.
I think this is literally gonna be part 2. I think
Yeah.
that's all I can
Yeah,
take
it's-
today. Jesus.
Yeah.
Yagna, thank you for joining me. Maybe people have some questions. If you have a question, write a question and then the question afterwards, right? So write the word question so we can catch them before Yagna goes. So next week we're gonna see part 2 of this. I think maybe we're gonna skip the health part because it's not that important. I think everybody knows.
I
Plus or
think
minus.
people
Yeah.
who are watching this can watch that part themselves.
Yeah.
Yeah.
True as well. So give me that YouTube channel name. Have you sent it to me? I haven't.
It's just my name, and I've put it in the chat. Actually, I did put it, but so I've not uploaded any video yet. I'm yet to. I have a few on the list. But yeah.
Oh, that's all right. We're gonna get you a few followers or a few subscribers. I forget on which platform I am right now. Let me just find you. It's this lovely image of half human. Half,
Yeah.
There you go. Found it. I am subscribed. And you should too, guys. There you go. That's number 1. That's number 2.
So there's a video I have on my channel. It's called Story of a Mother, Mata.
Yeah.
So so that was like my final project when I was in uni, like when I was studying in my university, and I like transformed 2 of my friends into like a mother cow and one into like a baby cow, a male calf mostly, like particularly.
I'm posting
And
that
it's
video as well. Yeah. And
yeah, it's just 2 minutes long, but please have a look. I was trying to raise awareness through that, and yeah. And through my personal Instagram, you can see some more artworks I've created for. I can show one right now. Like I've got one.
Yeah,
if
of course.
You want me to?
You can share.
Yeah. Just a minute.
Sorry, guys, I can't unshare the video because then everything gets messed up on the long one. So we're gonna have to suffer through this. By the way, hello nerds like hello Jack,
So-
and hello Pia.
I have like one of my sculptures. This is actually like an ice cream cone.
Yeah.
And then there's like a cow that screams. I've maybe I could like keep it so that you guys can see it better.
Hold on,
But,
I'm just gonna. Sorry, guys.
It's like an ice cream, so I scream. Yeah.
Yeah.
Alright. Yeah.
Can you
So,
show
like,
it one
the
more
cow
time
is,
to the
like,
camera?
literally- Yeah.
Wow.
So the cow literally screams through, like ice cream, like that we enjoy. But so ice cream for ice cream. So she screams for ice cream, basically. But yeah. This is one of them. Then there are a few more. But yeah, I do some works like these as well to raise awareness. Yeah.
So the last link I'm gonna give is your site, if I can find it. God damn it! Do you not have it on your Instagram?
My Instagram or
your site, where you have your
the artworks.
Yeah.
They're mostly on Instagram.
Oh, okay. So follow
Yeah.
her on Instagram, guys.
I'll just message you which Instagram that is.
It's
And I'm
Yagna
gonna,
Sahapathy. Yeah.
yeah, I've just posted the other one for my artworks.
Perfect. Excellent. So that's another link.
Over there, you're gonna see a few. Yeah.
Yeah. So we have a
Quite a few
question.
of them.
What material is your sculpture made out of?
There are a few of them. This one is this material called fiberglass.
Yeah.
This is that. And then there are a few of my works are in the same material. I do prosthetic makeup, which is silicone rubber, sometimes even latex. And a few of them are in ceramics, and then one I did it in metal. But I'm always like trying to think about how to use more like better materials which are like better for the planet as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, this so
I bet you can do some stuff with starch. It does have like a silicone kind of texture, but I don't know.
yeah. Yeah,
That's
please
amazing. That's very
watch
pretty.
this video. But are you listening to the?
Oh no.
Yeah, you should like listen to the story like from the beginning.
Grow them healthy.
Well, I
Yeah.
posted it.
The sun came up.
I posted it to people in the chat. So yeah, guys, see you next week. Thank you everybody for coming. I appreciate every one of you and everybody saying they're subbed. So that's cool. And yeah, see you next time.